Hello everyone. Previously, we discussed about the event loop and concurrency, right? Today, we'll be discussing about the closures and lexical scope in JavaScript. So, what are closures basically and lexical scope? Let's discuss about the closures and the lexical scope. Closures occur when a function remembers the variables from its lexical scope even after the function is executed. So, when a function remembers the variables from its lexical scope, even after the function is executed. In simple terms, we can say in this way, closure gives us access to the outer function scope from the inner function. So now we know what are closures basically. So let's try to understand the lexical scope as well, and let's try to understand both with the example, right? So lexical scope, what basically the lexical scope determines. So lexical scope determines how variable names are resolved in nested functions. So again I am telling, lexical scope basically determines how variable names are resolved in nested functions based on the position in the code. So here basically what does lexical scope do is it determines how variable names are resolved in nested functions based on their position in the code. So this is about the closures and the lexical scope. So let's see the simple example of a simple closure. So what I'll do, I'll just write a function. So let me write the function outer, nothing but the outer function. I have just named this one outer. So let me initialize the variable. I'll just give here let count equals 0. Nothing but here this is a variable in the outer function scope. You can clearly see this is variable in the outer function scope. Next, let me return function. Let me make use of the name inner. Sorry, this is inner, right? Sorry, what is happening here? So yeah, inner. So here we will try accessing the outers variable, nothing but count, right? So I can just give here count plus plus. So here let me log basically what I log, I'll just log the count, right? So I'll just give count here. So this is fine. So what I have done here, initially I have called the outer function, then this is the variable in the outer function scope. So next I have called the function inner. Inside this we are accessing the outers variable, nothing but outers variable is nothing but count. Here we are incrementing the count. I have just logged the count over here. So in the next step what I'll do, I'll just give const counter equals outer. So let me call this one. Next, let me give counter. So here we have to the first one here, when we are calling this one counter for the first time, then we have to get the output 1, right? Initially this will be 0, this gets incremented, and here this will be 1. Next, let me call the counter again. So here this one has to be 1 and 2. So let's try running the code. So let me run this one. So we are getting the correct output 1 and 2. So I hope the concept of closures is clear. This is the example for the simple closure. Let's see one more example, nothing but the practical closure usage. So let's try to understand with one more example. So let me create the function here. So let me give the function. I'll just give here create addition, or let me take multiplier. Create multiplier of, let me take the parameter factor, right? So here what I'll do, let me consider one more function. I'll just return the function with the parameter number. So here what we will do, let's try accessing the factor from the parent scope. This is the parent scope, right? Function create multiplier, this one. This function is the parent scope, right? This one. So let's try accessing the factor from the parent scope inside the this function. child function, this one, right? Inner function. So here I'll just give a return number into factor, nothing but the parameter in the parent function, I mean parent scope. Yeah, let's try. We are accessing the factor from the parent scope, right? So I hope this is clear. Next step, what I'll do, I'll just consider the variable name double, and let me copy this one, create multiplier. Sorry, what happened to this one? Sorry, just give me a second here. Yeah, let me copy this one, create multiplier of, let me give 2 here, and let me give triple. Yeah, let me just give triple here. Same thing, create multiplier of, let me give 3 here. So what I'll do, let me log. So I have to write console log, right? Okay. Let me give double, given the variable name double, right? Double of, let me give 5 here. Let me copy the same thing. Sorry, we have to copy completely. Let me copy the same thing here. Instead of double, let me make this one triple. So here this one will be 5 into 2, this has to be 10, and this has to be 5 into 3, nothing but 15. So we have to get the output 10 and 15. So again I am saying here what I have done here is, this is the outer function according to the previous example. This one is outer function, nothing but create multiplier. So multiplier. So we are trying to access the factor from the parent scope, nothing but from here. We are trying to access the this one, right? Factor from the parent scope. I have just given return number into factor. So I have just took the variable name double. We are getting create multiplier of 2, create multiplier of 3. So here when we log double of 5 and triple of 5, we have to get the output 5 into 2, nothing but 10, 5 into 3, nothing but 15, 10 and 15. So let me hit the run. So we are getting the output 10 and 15. This works absolutely correct, right? So this is one of the practical closure usage example, right? So I hope this is completely clear. So this is it for now. Next we will be discussing about the prototypal inheritance in JavaScript. So this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.